I'd like to highlight something today related to a form of loving kindness, which is a meditation that comes from Buddhism and is also a part of yoga. And we can use variations on loving kindness to suit our particular needs. The basic premise of loving kindness is that we're wishing well towards someone or some part of someone, or towards ourselves or a part of ourselves that is suffering, or that might be causing pain, or might be in pain. Right? So the basic orientation is, as we practice this kind of well-wishing or prayer called Maitri, loving kindness, it brings ease to our whole system, expands our heart, and helps us to reduce the narrative of how we're in pain because we're blaming ourselves or shaming ourselves for it, or how we deserve to be in pain. It's kind of a Western punishing view instead of this Eastern loving kindness, well-wishing, prayerful view. So let's see how it goes for us. We will start with a short meditative practice and then a little bit of pranayama, and then we'll take it into a physical practice as well. So please come into a comfortable seat. You're welcome to close your eyes. And let yourself begin centering whatever way you center. So that might be that you imagine you're kind of snipping the antennae of thought that's not important for the present moment. Or you might relax your physical body to feel yourself right here in the present. You might allow your breath to drop in more deeply, or perhaps you do all three of those things. So perhaps as you release thought and feel into the present moment sensations and welcome your breath, what you might also do is lengthen your spine. It's a kind of gesture of attention and readiness, like if you were an antenna, you can receive. You also do transmit, but you can receive now by lifting up through the top of your head and aligning your spine. Your breath may also go more deeply into your hips and your pelvis. And then I'm going to suggest a phrase to you that you can use as a repetition phrase during the practice. And you can, of course, edit this phrase to be more personal and more meaningful to you. We can start with a simple phrase like, may I be at ease. May I be at ease. You might also use a phrase like, may I be at peace. May I be at peace. Or perhaps, may I be well. May I be well means, may I be healthy. May I be well mentally or physically. May I be well. So each of these words that I've suggested for right now, they're sort of proactive words. May I be at ease. May I be at peace. May I be well. Another phrase that we can use in metta or Maitri is versus proactive. It's like a subtracting kind of phrase. We say, may I be free from pain. May I be free from unnecessary suffering. May I be free from harm. So those are subtracting phrases. You might choose one, and we could choose one from each category. So may I be at ease. May I be free from harm. Notice how it feels in your body to hear these phrases and even to offer them to yourself. And enjoy a deeper breath in. We're going to use whatever phrase that you chose, and you can always, of course, update it along the way, but we're going to use that phrase in the little echoes between practices today. So please bring your hands together at your heart. And then you may bow your head to your heart. And release your hands and open your eyes. As I was offering that brief meditation, I have been doing this work in yoga and healing. What is it? 30 years. Yes, about 30, not less than 30 years. And maybe my own recovery now is, maybe we could say, what is the math? 34 years. It started 34 years ago. So I have a lot of understanding about my own history and the tools of yoga and the potential for all of this. And even as I was just leading that practice, I could feel into the child in me who wished to be free from harm and to have ease, like that visceral sense of longing for that in my childhood home. Could we just have ease? Could I not get, harmed? Can I not be attacked or punished today? And so I just felt that in myself. And of course, you may have things like that arise for yourself in these practices. I was feeling into it like, oh, it's still there. The sadness of recognizing that as a child, I actually had to have these sorts of thoughts like, I hope I don't get hurt today, or, could we have some ease? And I didn't have the elegance of a phrase like, may I be at ease? May I be free from harm? Nor did I have the elegance of saying, may everyone everywhere be free from harm. May everyone everywhere be free from pain. And metta or Maitri meditation does begin with us, and then it expands out into society, everyone everywhere. But I did feel that in my body this morning. And this is one of the beauties and also poignancies of a yoga practice, is that sometimes you'll elicit a memory. You'll feel something in your body you may not have been expecting. And can we give that some room to breathe and be there? And as we're doing that, we are holding space for the part of us that just arose. And that is also healing, because there was nobody there to hold that space for me when I was a child. And so when we give that space to an emotion, a memory, a visual thing, a visceral feeling, we give it space and also love and recognition. So much also in my childhood was just like never acknowledged, not recognized, and or denied. Thanks for being here for the practice. And I just wanted to share that in case those kinds of things also happen for you from time to time. So whatever phrase came for you, we're going to use it in the echoes between the practices. And let's do a practice right now that can bring us from the head space into the body space, so that we can feel into the generosity of our body intelligence to kind of turn back on and be a resource for us. So this is a breathing practice, and it'll be familiar to some of you and new to others. What we're going to do is called a blowing off technique. And then there'll be an inhale where we hold the breath for a few moments. During that hold, bring your chin down, snug the belly in and up, make the chest and the heart brighter. And right there, as you're holding that, you can imagine the phrase, may I be at ease, for example. And then when we exhale, you could give the phrase, may I be free from harm. Whatever your phrase is. Okay, so we'll do this blowing off. It's very strong exhales out through the mouth, like you're blowing out candles. And when you do the exhale, make your lips small, so the opening is tiny, and the force of the exhale has to be force, 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 force. We'll do it about 20 times, and we'll exhale completely, and then we'll inhale to hold. Okay, let's begin. Exhale long. Inhale to hold. Suspend the breath. And exhale to release. And you might again have your echo phrase. Maybe, may I be free from harm. May I be free from unnecessary pain. And we're going to repeat that. It's about 20 strong exhales out through the mouth. One long exhale. Breathe in through your nose. One long inhale. In your own timing, exhale smoothly. Can say, may I be free from pain. May I be free from harm. May I be free from unnecessary suffering. In the silence after the exhale, you might remind yourself again that may I be at ease. May I be at peace. May I be well. And now we're going to practice a different breathing technique. It's a long inhale, a little sip of an inhale at the top, like you think, can I get any more breath in? And then you take a little sip, and then we exhale and we sigh. And you can sigh through the nose or through the mouth. I do like sighing through the mouth. We rarely exhale through the mouth in yoga practice, so it's nice to have a technique in which you're actually doing that. So during the inhale, you might have the phrase coming in like, may I be at ease, may I be at peace, whatever your phrase is. And you have a little sip of an inhale on the exhale, okay, and may I be free from harm. May I be free from pain. Okay, let's try it out. This inhale is not the longest yogic inhale you can do. So I'll say, here's my inhale, and then I'll say, sip the in-breath, and you'll have a sense of like how long this kind of inhale actually takes. So here's my inhale. And then a sip, and then sighing. Breathe in. A sip. Sighing. Again. Sip. Sighing. Twice more. Last one. And then allow yourself to relax, like you're basking in the silence that can come from that practice. In that silent space, potentially silent space, let the only broadcast be, may I and everyone everywhere be at ease. May I and everyone everywhere be at peace. May we be safe from harm. May we be free from unnecessary suffering. And then you're welcome to open your eyes. And so for those of us who may have needed to duck out of harm's way, in childhood, for example, let's do a practice now that gives us a sense of the full spectrum of the space we're actually allowed to occupy. This is a sitting practice, and it'll be coordinated with the breath. So giving yourself the sense of the space that you're allowed to occupy, and then we're going to bring in this resource again. So interlace your fingers and start with your hand like a little bowl shape like this, holding that in your lap, okay? So on the inhale, we're going to raise the hands up to the heart. Then we're going to exhale, touch the heart like this. Then we'll inhale, push forward. We're going to exhale, draw in again towards the heart. We'll inhale to push up. We're going to be exhaling to press out like this. And then the hands are going to join again in that clasped position like a little bowl. Okay, so start with the hands in a bowl shape and place into that bowl the quality like ease or peace or well-being or perhaps love or kindness, a quality that you want to bring up into your heart. So, and now with an inhale, slowly raise your hands up. And exhale, pour that into your heart. Inhale, push forward, giving yourself the space in front of you. Exhale, draw into your heart that which you want to place there. Inhale, push up. This is your space to claim, so exhale, press out. Join the hands like a little bowl. Breathe in and raise this quality up from the base of the belly up towards your heart. Exhale, place it there. Inhale, press forward. Exhale, draw in, like loving kindness or well-being. Inhale, press up. And exhale, press out, like may I be free from pain or intrusions or other people's toxicity, whatever you need to say. And then clasp your hands and inhale. Raise up into your heart, ease or peace or harmony. Exhale, place that in your heart. Inhale, push forward. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, press up again. What you want to be free from, bring that into your mind. And then exhale, push out. May I be free from intrusions or hijacking my mind today by shame, or may I be free from other people's insanity. Interlace your fingers and once more inhale, bring this up. And place that love or kindness or well-being into your heart. Notice how it is to give yourself this gift. And then you can bring your hands to your heart and acknowledge yourself, your present day self, the future healthy self that you're developing, and also acknowledge the past self that navigated pain and suffering and is here today for healing. May she also be free from unnecessary pain. May she also be free from unnecessary harm. And may she, this past version of yourself, whatever age comes to mind, may she have ease and harmony, support and well-being. You may release your hands. You're welcome to open your eyes. So as I reflected again on my past self, this child self that came today, there was nobody wishing her well or wishing her to have ease or harmony or self-acceptance or patience with herself. What was being demanded was like, get good grades, be high pressured in this particular sport or that particular sport, or don't cause trouble, all the admonishments and pressures. There wasn't somebody like a loving fairy godmother sort that was saying, oh, honey, may you be at ease. May you really know yourself and your worth and all that love and goodness that was missing. There wasn't a vitamin in my household like that. So we do offer this to the past versions of ourselves in the way that I just did there. And you can do that throughout the course of the day. Sometimes you're going to have an emotional eruption, and that is picking up on past pain that's unresolved. So perhaps today, as that might happen, I hope it doesn't, but if something happens, some tension or contraction or emotional upset, maybe we can pause for a moment and say, may I be at ease? May she also have ease, this past version of you that's still carrying some of that pain. And know that as you connect to yourself in the present like that, it's healing for the now. It's also creating the healed version of yourself that you get to keep living into. Okay. Thank you. Okay, now let's take this to a standing practice. Okay, so in this practice, what I'm going to be working with you on is how in the present moment, we can give ourselves a blessing for being on our yoga mats, for even having the gumption to show up for yourself. And then while we're giving that blessing, we can also imagine that it's going to go with us through the day. And so it becomes a blessing in the now, and it becomes a blessing for our future self, our like 10 a.m. self or our 1 p.m. self, that we can remember that we had this blessing here today. I'm also going to suggest from time to time in the practice that we offer this kindness as to our younger self, to a historical version of ourselves. And I went like this younger because sometimes that is like a child self that we're giving this blessing to. So please take a wide stance on your mat. You can make your feet parallel. Great. We're going to be using a deep breath from time to time. And sometimes it feels like it's hard to get a deep breath. If you've been stressed or tense or you didn't have good sleep, you may find that you're not breathing that deeply. This position is one where you can actually bring a deeper breath in more easily. So come forward and down. Walk your hands forward. So that's going to stretch the upper back a little bit. And it's totally fine to put your hands on some blocks or a chair if the floor is too far away. Or you could use an ottoman if you're working on your yoga practice in your living room, for example. Now let's invite a deep breath into the pelvis, the hips, and the lower belly. And see if you could exhale thoughtfully and relatively completely. During the in-breath, you could say to yourself a very kind or supportive phrase like, may I be well, may I be grounded. And if you do that for the next 3 or 4 breath cycles,
you might find that the word phrase that's meant to be yours today comes to you. Like, may I be grounded? May I be at ease? May I maintain a connection to myself? So whatever the phrase is going to be for you, bring that in through the inhalation. And when you exhale, imagine releasing any resistance to that phrase. Imagine releasing that resistance in your body, in your mind, in the inner body. And imagine releasing that resistance not only right now, but in your 10 a.m. self or your 1 p.m. self, that you're going to be able to release the habit of giving yourself a hard time, for example, or the habit of not allowing in a phrase that is kind or generous. And with your next complete exhale, walk your hands back towards your hips, press into your heels, rise up to standing. And we're going to go heel toe into center. Let's make the feet parallel and then come down to a simple forward bend. Again, it's fine to use blocks or your ottoman or a chair. So now the feet are closer, they're more stable. Your hamstrings and calves might feel this a bit more. But on the inhale, we're going to lift the heart and the chest and look forward. And then on the exhale, bow towards your legs and try releasing the breath as you squeeze the torso and the lower belly. And then inhale, glide forward again. May I be grounded, or may I be at ease? May I be well? And on the exhale, squeeze out any resistance you would have to that thought being okay for you to have on your own behalf. So on the exhale, what we're doing is squeezing out like the attitude that we don't deserve something. So exhale and squeeze the breath out. Inhale, glide forward, open your chest and your heart, your throat, and your mind. And exhale, squeeze the breath out. And then with your next inhale, please rise up to standing. Right. Now let's take a stance. It's pretty wide. We call this the jazz dance warm-up pose. Turn your toes out, turn the knees out. Yep. Come down like you're in jazz dance class and you got to get warmed up for, I don't know, the jazzy things that you're going to do. I never took a jazz dance class, so I didn't name this pose myself. One of my students did. Okay, press out through your inner thighs towards your knees. Put your body weight into your outer heels and even into the pinky toes. Of course, the big toes are there too. Press into both arms so it's a strong and downward pressure. Your spine's going to feel long, I hope, and the shoulders might be a little bit up towards your ears. So let's gaze forward and down. And on the inhale, breathe in this phrase. You could think of it as a loving kindness phrase for yourself. And when you exhale, let's add a phrase, something like, may I be free from harm. May I be free from calamity. You might breathe in, may I be at peace, for example. And breathing out, may I be free from harm. Or may I be free from stress or anxiety or compulsivity, or may I be free from self-abandonment, whatever the phrase is that's going to be meaningful for you today. With your next exhale, press down into your heels, rise up to standing. Okay, let's make the feet parallel. And we're going to make this pose we started with into a twisting pose. And in this twist, you're going to be reaching up. So in that reaching for something, I want you to think of it as really reaching for the possibility that you do deserve these phrases of kindness for yourself, that you're not being left out of the circle of love or belonging. So let's come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. Touch your fingertips to your blocks, your chair, the floor, the ottoman, the dog, if that's what you're using. And then place your right left palm, excuse me, in the center where both hands are now. And with your in-breath, twist and open to your right. On the exhale, return to your starting position. Use the pace of your breath for that. Okay, inhale, twist right. Exhale, return. Inhale, twist right. Exhale, return. We're going to do it a few times more. So hopefully you're sensing that you can synchronize your breath with your body and your body with your breath. And so as you connect to the phrase, what you might say is, breathing in, may I be at ease. Breathing out, may I be free from stress or anxiety. Breathing in, may I be well. You might even say, breathing out, may I be free from headaches or insomnia or whatever something specific might be for you. And then exhale to come down for the last time. And let's change sides. So place your right palm down and the left side we're going to twist to. So inhale, open to your left. It's very common that the two sides of the body are asymmetrical. So do your best to reach into the capacity on each side. And for the side that might be more difficult, I'm going to recommend that you increase the kindness or appreciation for that part of your body. And we can say, breathing in, may I be healthy. Breathing out, may I not have physical pain. For example, you can be specific about something or you can be more general. And for example, you could even, on the next inhale, you might say, may I make positive choices or healthy choices. And on the exhale, may I not find myself succumbing, right? Let's do it one more time. So whatever is helpful to you, it could be really simple. May I be at ease. May I be free from unnecessary pain. And then raise your hands up to your hips. Rise up to standing. And let's go heel toe, heel toe, heel toe to center. And come to mountain pose. And here we just reflect very simply what's happening now in your body, in your mind. And how would it feel to your heart to say, may everyone everywhere be at ease. May everyone everywhere be kept safe from harm. And let's get a blanket or a bolster, please, and come down to the floor. This is going to go under your hips in a reclined position. But we're going to be, look at that, my blanket matches my outfit. That wasn't planned. The blanket exists, the outfit exists, but I wasn't planning to be color coordinated. So what we're going to do here with the hips elevated is a reclined spine twist. When your hips are elevated a little bit, what benefit that is to you is that the lower back is going to be more broad and the twist will be able to include the lower belly more comfortably. We do not need to get all the way down side to side. So when you see me do it, you'll see that there's a little pause and then you're going to be coming back up to center. So there's going to be some abdominal toning across the lower belly that's required too. So I'd like it to lie on your back so that your hips are on the bolster or the blanket. And check that when you bring your knees to your chest, you do feel like the knees can kind of fall in towards the chest because your hips are elevated even a tiny bit. So the lower back is going to be more broad that way. Yeah. Great. And then take the arms out into a T shape. Let's keep the knees together as a unit, so they're not going to become staggered or separated when we go. And the reason to keep them as a unit is you want the pelvis, the hips, the thighs, knees, and feet to be one thing, twisting side to side, versus like scissoring, right? So this here, my knees got stair-stepped, or we call that scissoring. So we're going to keep them together. It'll require more stability in the lower belly. It'll be more supportive for your sacrum and your SI joints. And then it's more strengthening for the inner body too. So here's the inhale. And then exhale to your right. Think about going towards your right elbow. Inhale to center. Exhale left. Inhale center. Now let's exhale the knees to the right and your nose to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale, knees left, nose right. Inhale to center, and try to time that so your knees and your nose are moving with the pace of your breath. Even though the knees and the nose travel different distances, let them travel at the pace of the breath. We're going to do it a few times more. So right now, bringing out the spine, twisting the internal organs, releasing tension up and down your back. So it could be upper back, mid back, lower back. And let's come to center. And while you're here, with your hips gently elevated, cross your right ankle over your left knee and reach between the legs with your right hand. Reach around the legs with your left hand, and where you can, clasp your fingers. Now, for some of us, reaching up like that to clasp the hands is not going to feel possible. That could be our body dimensions. It could be the flexibility of the right hip. It could be the length of your arms, right? In that case, when you cross your right ankle onto your left knee, put your left foot up on the sofa, the wall, the piano leg, the ottoman, a chair, whatever is needed to support your foot there. And that way you don't have to hold your legs in the position. Your hands will be free not to do so. Okay, so let's breathe into the right hip joint. And even you could say to your hip, like, may you be at ease, honey. May you be okay today. Or to your hip, may you be well, or may you be free from pain. You might say to your right hip, may you feel cared about, if it's something that you could increase how you care for your body. And let's release if you're clasping the hands, release them. Otherwise, release your right foot from your left knee. And we're going to change sides. So if you were using the ottoman or the piano leg, you just change sides from where you are. And then if you're using the hands, clasp your left hand between the two legs. So it goes between the left thigh and the right. and your right hand to the outside. As you give attention to your left hip, you can also offer a meaningful phrase of support or appreciation to your left hip. And so you again might use the phrase, may I be at ease, or to your left hip, may you be at ease. May I be well, or to your hip. Perhaps you've had a painful hip, so it's a nice thing to offer to your hip. Sometimes when our body is in pain, we're not that kind to those body parts. We kind of bemoan them or we feel irritated by them. So check and see if you could be a little more thoughtful or kind, or even some appreciation for what your hips do for you all day. And remember the subtracting phrase also, may you be free from unnecessary pain. May you be free from unnecessary harm. Okay. Go ahead and release from here, one foot and then the other. And then you can take this blanket, multiple use blanket, right? And we're going to place it. Let's see, mine is folded in a certain way, so I know I can do this without sitting up. So what you end up with is a little blanket to cover with. And the importance of this part is that the cat comes. Hi. Hi. Yes. So this is the Shavasana part of yoga. If you have cats, they probably already came to your yoga practice, but she just pushed the door open to come in. She wasn't allowed to come before. You want to be here now? Bindi? Okay, so in Shavasana, we practice integrating. Now, I'm going to give you a little phrase to work with in Shavasana too, and it'll be familiar from the practice that you just had. So we say, may I be at ease? May I and everyone everywhere be at ease? May I be at peace? May I and everyone everywhere be at peace. And let's picture now sliding that back into history for the past versions of yourself, wherever you land when you slide the looking glass backwards. And you can say to this previous version of yourself, on her behalf, may you be at peace. May you be at ease. May everyone who surrounds you and who influences you, may they be at ease. May they be at peace. And towards this younger version of yourself, you can also say, may you be free from unnecessary suffering. May you be free from pain. May you be kept safe from harm. May everyone who surrounds you, everyone who influences you, may they be free from unnecessary suffering. May they be free from pain. May they too be kept safe from harm. Notice how that is to have this kind of ambient sense of your past self deserving love or kindness or chaperoning that would have been so useful to you. And feeling into your present day self again. May you be free from unnecessary pain. May you be kept safe from harm. May you be free from unnecessary suffering. May you be at peace. May you be at ease. As you offer yourself those phrases, allow your body to deeply relax more and more, with deeper and deeper layers. As your body settles more deeply, one more time, bring into your heart and your awareness. This is called loving kindness or Maitri. May you be at peace. May you be at ease. May you be free from harm. May you be kept safe from unnecessary suffering. May we and all of our parts, may we and everyone, everywhere, be at ease. May we be at peace. May we be kept safe from harm. Now gently wiggle your toes and your fingers. We do lie still for a time, for integration, for your whole body to get the biochemical, neurological, hormonal bath of your practice. And then you're going to bend your knees one at a time here. Let's roll to the side. And create the blanket that you can sit on. We'll sit for a few minutes of meditation practice. Again, this meditative process that I was giving you today, it's called Maitri in yoga. In Buddhism, it's called metta, M-E-T-T-A. So you might see it that way somewhere on the internet if you do a search for it. These are two different language systems: Sanskrit with yoga, Maitri, and then the language of the Buddha, which was Pali, P-A-L-I, the language of Pali. And so his word is metta. It's the same practice. So rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. And just notice the felt sense of yourself here, having gifted yourself with a practice time. What is the feeling tone now? Right? And we can also reflect on this feeling tone that we have right now. You've moved the dial in your well-being, at least to some extent. And sometimes we can imagine, wow, I've gifted myself with this. I've also prevented that from happening, whatever that might have been that you would have been doing during this time of yoga. So, it's like a double gain in that regard. Please raise your hands to your heart and really appreciate yourself for gifting yourself with the time for this self-healing practice, yoga. This time is incredibly valuable to your well-being. It is not taking time away from something else. In fact, it's likely preventing other things from happening that we would find a waste of time. Like we might regret later in the day if we're in the pantry once again, or holding the door of the fridge open, not knowing what we're doing. So always consider your yoga practice to be a valuable investment, time well given to yourself. Thank you for being here. Namaste. And always in these practices on YouTube, before you go, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button for videos that work well for you. That's good feedback for me and for my team. And leave your questions and comments down below also.
Thank you once again, everyone. Namaste.